Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT Mid-Morning.
On WKYT this mid-morning, a Kentucky mother preparing to face a judge after police say she caused a crash that killed her granddaughter.
It's a mystery that could take months to solve. What we've learned now after a body was found in the Kentucky River.
And an emotional night for a former Wildcat who broke down while paying tribute to a young friend. Good morning to you. The time is 10 o'clock. We're sure glad you're with us here on WKYT as we get this day rolling along. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith in this morning for Barbara Bailey. Starting out to be a somewhat cold, dreary day.
Yeah, and colder as the day goes by. I think it's colder now than when we got here very early this morning. Let's check in with Micah right now in our First Alert Weather Center.
Hey, and we're going to continue to see that happen. I think as we get toward the afternoon, we'll still drop maybe a degree or two in some locations. So it's just going to be that cold, kind of dreary day. There's not much out there, and I don't expect much. When we have, you'll see on the 7-day, when we have that 60% chance of something, rain, a little precipitation, it's not because of heavy stuff. It's because it's so widespread and spread out. I think a good amount of us will actually start to see a little bit of that fall. But sprinkles at best, a little mist here and there. There's not much going on, maybe even a few flurries to the north right now. That colder air is filtering in. It'll settle in. Down toward the southeast, still in the 40s, but I think we'll finish off there in the 30s. It will slowly but surely edge down in the southern zones. The snow really picks up tonight. I'll go over the latest and what you can expect out of that. Maybe a little accumulation. I'll show you that in about 10 minutes.
All right. Hope the latest doesn't mean more. We'll see you in a little bit, Micah. In the news, in less than an hour, police plan to make their case against a Kentucky woman accused of causing a crash that killed her grandchild.
Melissa Worstel is set to be arraigned today in Laurel County. Police say she was intoxicated when she caused the crash. Her 6-month-old granddaughter, Ivy, died in that crash. Police say the child was not properly restrained. Worstel is charged with murder, DUI, and drug charges. There's a mystery this morning after human remains were found along the Kentucky River. The remains were found Saturday near Camp Daniel Boone Road, where Fayette, Madison, and Jessamine counties all meet. The Jessamine County coroner says the victim's death is a homicide, but he can't say how the person died. Investigators also aren't sure if it's a man or a woman. We're told identifying those remains could take months.
Frightening moments for some shoppers about this time yesterday who rushed to help a shooting victim. It happened in Clay County in the parking lot of the Manchester Walmart. Police say Michael Edwards and Richard Lawson got into an argument over property. They say Edwards then shot Lawson. Witnesses said they did whatever they could to try to help.
There's nobody else to help him. I felt horrible. I mean, the man had been beat up. I wouldn't want, nobody to leave me laying.
Police say Lawson has been flown to UK hospital. Edwards is charged with assault, attempted murder, and wanton endangerment. An eastern Kentucky man is in critical condition this mid-morning after a house fire that started early yesterday in Pikeville. Firefighters say they found 39-year-old Jason Campbell outside of the home, but he had been badly burned. It took crews 5 hours to put out the fire. No word yet on how it started.
This morning, investigators have identified the woman killed in a crash with a coal truck. Happened yesterday on US 23 in Johnson County. The coroner says 80-year-old Orpha Childers died. Her daughter, Paula Fields, was flown to the hospital. Police say the coal truck was turning onto the highway when the car slammed into it. A Central Kentucky woman's in jail accused of abusing her dog to support her drug addiction. Elizabethtown police say Heather Pereira admitted to the crime. Veterinarians say they became suspicious when Pereira brought her dog in several times with multiple cuts. They think she used a razor blade to cut the dog. Police say she confessed to the crime. Her dog is now with the foster family.
There's a new billboard in Lexington that is attracting some attention. It's for the Ark Encounter that is under construction in northern Kentucky. The billboard along New Circle Road reads, quote, "To all of our intolerant liberal friends, thank God you can't sink this ship." The park's parent company says there will be 16 of those billboards across the country fighting what they call misinformation by the media. Well, the White House has ordered tightened security at U.S. facilities worldwide.
U.S. military members and embassies are on high alert as the Senate Intelligence Committee releases a controversial and explosive torture report today. Susan McGinnis has the report.
The 600-page summary will reveal disturbing details on CIA interrogation techniques at secret overseas prisons, so-called black sites. The torture included waterboarding, used against terror suspects in the years after September 11th. The report concludes the agency went beyond legal limits in interrogations. Techniques were not effective, and the agency lied to itself, Congress, and the White House about the effectiveness of the program in order to keep it going. The White House wants the report made public.
So that the American people can have a clear assessment of what exactly happened, and that we can be crystal clear about what our values are as Americans.
But defenders of the program, including Republicans on the committee and the CIA itself, say the report doesn't tell the whole story and that releasing it could put American lives in danger and incite violence. Former CIA leaders, including General Michael Hayden, say the agency was told its actions were legal and that they never lied about it.
I recommended to President Bush that we reduce the program, that we reduce the number of techniques, but that the program had been so valuable that we couldn't stop it altogether.
The CIA says the program stopped terror attacks and led to the capture or killing of key al-Qaeda leaders, including Osama bin Laden. Susan McGinnis, CBS News, Washington.
Well, the CIA says the use of all enhanced interrogation techniques stopped in 2006 and the program was officially ended in 2009. Senator Dianne Feinstein, chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, says she will speak on the Senate floor at 11 this morning. Well, it was an emotional day for a former Kentucky point guard.
Anybody who's seen this has been talking about it today. John Wall led his Wizards team to a win, but after the game he broke down in tears when he talked about a special friend. Over the last year, Wall had gotten to know 6-year-old Maya, a cancer patient. He had been writing her name on his shoes and even helped her meet Nicki Minaj. She died before last night's Wizards game, and after the game, Wall couldn't hold back his emotions.
I mean, to see a little kid that fights so hard for cancer and can't beat it, this game's for her, man. All my jersey, my shorts, I'm going to give it to her family. It's a tough day for me, and I was really quiet today, so.
It was tough. I'm talking to you before the game, and you're never like this. She really touched your heart, didn't she?
Wall scored 26 points in a double overtime win, but it was the thought of Maya that left him speechless.
They have a lot of heart and a special bond between the two of them.
Yeah. Well, in his final 2 weeks as host of the Colbert Report, Stephen Colbert interviewed President Obama.
This was Obama's third appearance on Colbert's show and his second as president. Aside from defending his decision regarding immigration and the Keystone Pipeline, Obama had lighthearted banter with Colbert and played along with his on-screen persona as a hard-headed conservative. Making the case that he's no lame duck, the president fielded questions on the economy, an area where he'd like more credit.
You've employed a lot of people, mostly as Secretary of Defense.
Well,
but
that's boosted our numbers a little.
Colbert is taking over as the host of The Late Show when David Letterman retires next year. All right.
Tough appearance, right?
A little bit of laughs for you. Well, happening today, Lextran will break ground on a new facility.
It will be built on what used to be the GE Kentucky Lighting Glass Plant on West Loudon. Lextran will move all operations and maintenance functions to that new location. The state-of-the-art facility will also include space for community meetings, fueling stations, and a place to wash all those big buses.
I'm sure they need a lot of space for that.
Big bus wash over there.